guys, today I want to take you on how to model a very simple geometry in Revit. So I want you to just follow me as I go through. These are our own ways of modeling in Revit, but I'll just take you through my own way and the way I think it's much more easier to model some geometry in Revit in an easy way. So go to, when you set up your Revit always looks up like this. So you go to the new. This is where you select the template which you want to use to work. So we're working with the architectural template and we're leaving these as browse. So you click on OK and we'll wait while it loads. So here is our interface. So originally I have my image on the background, which is in my desktop. So all I just need to do is to drag it into Revit. Some people used to import, but import is kind of stressful to me. So I drag and I drop. So I can be looking at what I want to work with while I work with it. So when you open your Revit, you have this interface which is project browser, and here which is the properties. As they all mean, project browser is every phase or stage of your project, and properties is every what can I call it? You know, now properties, every detail about a particular element in your model. So first thing first, what you need to do is go to your elevation. So on default mode, south is always the front elevation. So currently I'm at my front elevation, and on a normal day we have the natural ground floor, the NGL, and we have the FFL, we have the headroom or slab or whatever some people call it. So we are going to create those levels just like we are working with AutoCAD, but it's just that this is in a three-dimensional phase. So we're creating this, then making this 450, then right click, then go to create similar, then ensure that your mouse is snapping to the beginning of this grid so that everything will look uniform and neat. So let's say we're using 3.6 for the headroom of or the ceiling level of whatever we are modeling. So ensure that it's also snapping at this end, and I think that's all we need. But on a normal day, when I first started using Revit, I always create another extra level, which now I find no reason of, because there's always a way around it. Just keeps your file heavy, and when you take it to other softwares to work with, they're just junk. So you get, so we will just go with these three. Now I would also like to import the image back to this elevation so we can also work with it. So all I do is drag, look for my Revit icon, then it pops up, then I drop. So you can also scale, you can scale down your image. So here it is, we have the elevation. Now if you look closely, we have 1, 2 and the 3, the ceiling level. So that's what I've created here, 1, 2 and the 3. Yep. So we automatically don't, or I don't usually work with ceiling plans. So all I just need to do now is to go back to my floor plan, and automatically if you look into this perspective, you can tell that the plan is boxy. So all you need to do is there are three. I can model this in 3 different ways, but I'll just go through the normal basic way so that it will help. Then as we go on, I'll be able to teach more on the other ways of modeling something like this. So we go to our floor plan, which is level 1. No, we'll go to level 2, which is our finished floor level. And if you notice, my node are not showing just like it should be showing on the level 1. So all I just need to do is come to this viewports, architectural plan. Then there's also one more settings I need to set, which is uh, the level at which is saying true. Yep, the underlay. So the underlay is currently at top, so it's looking down. So I'm sure I'll figure out how I used to do it, but currently I can't, and I'll find a way to do that. So you don't really need to depend on that. All you can do is go back to your level 1. So most of the time you just have to learn how to improvise when you're facing challenges. It's not a must to stop yourself with one challenge you're facing at that time. So I'm trying to move this backwards so that I'll have enough workspace. So here you have the architectural element, which we're using wall, and we're creating the box first. So let's say this is our front. So we have this. So let's say we just go for something like, let's say 10,000. Let's leave it at this. Then let's say 11. And now I'm just trying to teach how to do the basic stuff. Now the other time I told us that property is the configuration of a particular element. So here it's telling us the level of the height of our wall is, all walls are 8,000, and currently I think we need 3,600. So all we just need is to come back to our side elevation, and you can see this is currently 8,000. So my keyboard is bad, so I just need to be smart about how I do it. So here it is. So when I highlight all my walls, instead of working with just one because I've created them, I'll just press Ctrl V, then I'll drop. So everything is there, and my walls are not supposed to start from the base level. They're supposed to start. There are different ways to it, so let's just start with the normal way so that you'll be able to go with the other ways. Let's say the basic way that I was taught. So you work with the level 2. Your walls are always supposed to be on level 2 so that you can have your slab space. So when you cut your section, you see it as slab. You don't need to start setting that as slab. But there's also a way around that. But for the basic stage which we are in right now, I don't think we need the shortcuts now. So here what we do is, sorry if I was fast, to click on edit. Now we're using generic wall 200 mm. So what we need is, on a normal day we know that our walls are supposed to be 2 to 5. So you can, okay, now the rules are, when you are tampering with a particular element, make sure you duplicate it, so wherever you have used it before does not get affected. So if you have used the walls in 10 other places, if you don't duplicate, it will overwrite those walls. So what you need to do is you duplicate, click on duplicate. Don't forget that. That is very, very essential, and if you forget it, you pay for it. So now you click on structure, edit. So when you click on edit, here you have your properties. Now you have the 200, which we need the 2 to 5 wall, and here is your material. This is where you set your materials for you to work with. So when you click on the 3 dots, the 3 nodes that was here, this pops up. So let me do it again. So automatically did 3 dots. So here, now you can just browse and click whatever material you like, but majorly I don't like Revit materials because for a basic person, okay, if you are starting, you like to go for Revit materials. But for now, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to go with any Revit material. I would like to create mine. So I'll click on create new. So when I click on create new to create this, then you can now rename it. But what I just feel is, if you rename it, it tends to scatter it because these libraries are arranged alphabetically. So I'll just leave it as default material. So when I create another one, it will be default material 2. It won't be like having another different name that I have to search when I want to tamper with. So here you can enable this if you want. Then here, this appearance tab, when you click on it, this is where you edit the properties, the color, the material, the texture, the bump. So everything is done here. So all you need to do, since the project we are working with, they used white, that is your white. Use your reflection. Your reflection is a little bit, this is a wall, you don't need too much direct reflection, you don't need bleak also, so you just need something minimal for a realistic exterior view. So now bumps, whether you want bumps, here you are allowed to bring in whatever bumps you want to bring in, or I won't be doing that. So I'm going to uncheck this. I'm just using my white column. And if you want to use any patterned image, and also there is also a tab here which is Revit default assets. So on this side, normally when you open, my Revit is still kind of newly installed, so I should have done this. Just click on this, change it to thumbnail view, then you have this, then you can widen it up so you can get to see more at a glance. So you can just look for any material you want. Now let's say we are looking for white. Okay, I think I saw one now. So let's say we are looking for white. Okay, if you look at this is a little bit detailed. Look at the reflection on this part of the, so you can just swap this, then it will swap up here. So you can see it's kind of, it has translucent, it has emissive. So now if you really need to know anything, so here is the, it will tell you what you're trying to work with. So you can just reduce it, because I don't think we need any material translucent. The reflectability, yep, we need to reduce the roughness. This might be the area edit, so you can enlarge this to see it properly, to have a closer look. Then you can also change your scene. So this, by, you just need to explore, but I promise that when you explore and you get to a stage you don't understand, if you call me or message me, I would help out. So we have that. Then you can click on apply, okay, then it automatically reflects here. Okay. Now if we go back to our reference image, now we can see we have glass, glazed. We have glazed. So all we need to do is draw a glazed wall in an L shape. So what do we need to do here? All we need to do is go back to architecture, click on walls. Now go to your, just scroll down. When you drop down, scroll down, go to curtain wall. Now we have different type of glazed wall. We have curtain, exterior glazing, and storefront. So the major ones that are detailed, or the major curtain wall that is always detailed, is the storefront. So the storefront has the mullions assigned to it automatically. So all we need to do is just drag in between the walls. So drag in between the walls, so it automatically embeds it inside this it automatically embeds it inside the wall. So here you can also change the profile of your mullion. So there's always a way around this also. So all you need to do is okay, so here, drag this down. Okay, now what I wanted to do was to eliminate that wall that was there. So what I need to do now is you have to uncheck this to delete a particular mullion. So when you delete it, the whole mullion is gone. Then you bring this back, so it gives you a kind of look that. Now you also have to do the same thing you did to your wall, which is the reducing of the height of your wall. So you have to you have to reduce the wall. So you can either drag it down or yeah, this also works with creat. So here we just change this to 2800 for the meantime for us to work with. And we know this is supposed to be, if you look here, see it's on level 1, so you need to bring it to where the wall is starting from. And I think, yeah, we don't need that excessive wall. Let's just make it 3000. Let's see where it's gonna reach. So 3000, 3600, the same height with the wall. So now I'll also be using this period. You can use MA to match property, or you just click on this here, then match this, then it is done. Also, so since you've matched it, it will now also help you move the level. So all you need is now to change your level, which it has automatically done by itself. So if we check our reference image, we find out that, let's go to the site. On the reference image, we find out that we have like 3000. So let's just use the grid of 3000 interval, and we'll remove this grid also. So let's use this. I think that will be the horizontal level, no, the vertical. So this should be, let's make this 3000. So hit apply. Okay, so we know that's so let's just make this. You can just click on none, so you won't disturb yourself on that. And this one will be 3000. Let's see, that's interval of 3000. Then click apply. It's going to delete that. That's what it said. So it's telling you that it was going to delete the horizontal grid. So when you click on this, you find this. So I think that's the first step. Then we go back to our ground floor. So here is our ground floor. Then I think at this point it's time for us to reduce this, then take this back inside. Now on the south elevation we have this L shape. You can create it with extrusion, but now we just, you know that you can create this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to create that with an extrusion. So I won't be teaching you the easy way or the rugged easy way also. So here, model in place, come to your component, architectural components, then model in place, then casework. Now the best way I find easy to do this, if you're going to model with extrusion is just on a straight plane, but on if you use sweep is going to do a beautiful work for you. So let's just use extrusion. So sweep is also there. We have bend, we have revolve. So as we go, we would have a reason to use every of these tools. So we have to go to our elevation. So we'll be able to create this stick plane. You set your plane. Always don't forget that. Set your plane. When you pick a plane, it tells you are telling the Revit, you're telling the software that you want to work on a particular face. So I've clicked on the glass, Then all I would do now is to create the profile of the void, or the wrapping around or thereabouts. So I'm also following the my 450 that is here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trim. So Revit trim is TR, and you pick the opposite wall lines or the line perpendicular to it. So here it is. Then go back to your site to see what you've done. Okay, we got it right. We had this on this part of the thing. I just stretch it to the back. So you have this. Then go back to your south elevation. We have this wrapping around the building now. So one other thing that we need to look into is what else again? So I think we are done with this class. Yeah, basic step we need to create this. We have created this. So now you want to create camera, or you want to set a camera view. First, go to the heights where you want to be seeing your building for. So let's say for this image we're using something like an ant view. Drop down, click on camera, change this offset, that's the height away from the level which you have picked, which is level 1, which is also our site. Then we are trying to pick the same thing with that view. Then you just drop, and then also make sure your view range is wide so that your image will not diminish while you are working with that. So I guess we've created what we needed for this tutorial, or what we plan to create. So you can also still stretch things a bit. Go to level 2 so you see the wall. Stretch things a bit. So you can just drop this here. Then so you will be seeing this wall at the end. Drop this. So it's all about you trying to visualize things. So go back to your 3D. Then we have this. So we have this. So this is telling that they are not aligning. So all you just need to do is pick on align. Your align is here. Then click the faces you want to align. So that's it. Now one more bonus tip is how to bring up your, maybe you need something. So the best way, which so far so good, I've been using Revit now, is just to load up or search for whatever you're looking for. So here I have all my materials. Then it's going to bring out wherever or whatever I have labeled as windows. So now here, when you are looking for your window, let's just try to pick one. Let's go with this. I guess that window has problem, and this is an angular window here, or corner. This is a corner window here. So I'm just looking for a simple window that we can just use to test run. So these are just details. So let's see. I think I have my windows around this part of my library. Yep. So let's say we are bringing in this. So you just drag and drop instead of loading from outside. You have to be looking through folders to look for it. Then if you're on a 3D view, just drop. If you're on an elevation view, just drop. Then if you need it, maybe you forgot to drop it somewhere, just click on your window. Then it's going to load the last loaded in window that you can now drop again. So okay, One more tip. So I guess this is this. You go to your site this time around. We have our building. So I just want to create a kind of floor. So you go to your floor. So you click. I use box, so I can't be drawing wall lines. You get. So when you drop that, you can now modify it to whatever you want. If you want kind of walkway, you cut your walkway out of your site, just like you are modeling. You get, just like you are modeling paperwork. So then all you do here, okay, let's say we do this, then we delete this. So we have this, then this part has the flower part, then you have to enter at a particular region, so you cut this part out also, cut that out also. So you trim, okay, sorry, you split. Here is your split element, so you split your lines, you split your lines here. Now you use your trim, 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 trim. Now you use control to select multiple object or multiple lines, multiple properties, or whatever multiple it might be. So when we do this, now we've cut out our, if you go back to our 3D view, or you can see this is going through. Now we put on our shadow, or we go through. Now you can see, put on your shadow, you can see the shadow is diminishing here because it's an infinite n, and it's also showing below. So what you need to do now is go back to your site where you were drawing, then the automatic way or the cheat code I use, just drag and drop, control, then highlight everything or some of it, release this since you are using it. So if you want to release, you use shift, release the internal part, then delete the external, then also drag again, then drop. So just try to align things. So everything is now aligned. And also, if you have any problem with launching your Revit, or your Revit is giving you some kind of problem, so now we have two different walls. So don't forget the rule. The rule is duplicate before editing. So now your floor, so that it will reduce the file size, let's just use 25. Then you create a material, create a new material. Okay, so when you create that, that's all. That's for the first one there. This is your walkway. The same thing, edit, duplicate. Okay, you can also rename it if you got the time, but it's always nice because when you go into detailed, or you're working with some other people and you have to make them know what you are working with, so you have to rename so that it will keep tabs and your workflow will be neat. So I guess that is all. And another stuff I feel I should talk about is these viewports. So here we have this normal default. Just drop down, click on full navigation, then you can now adjust it. So, and I don't think we'll be needing this. So that is that. And if you are looking at, okay, or you're feeling that this wall is kind of looking upward because it's not with the same thickness, all you need to do is edit, duplicate. Then what you need to do is change this to, let's say, 450. Yup. Then also create a new material so you won't be having problem. so you won't be having problem working with that. Okay, so I guess it's kind of almost the same thickness now, at least looking better than before. So there we have it, our simple reference image. I think let's bring it in again. Okay, we can't bring it 2D to 3D, but at least we've gotten what we wanted to get. And addition of the exterior elements. Now we'll be going through stairs in details in other courses, but all you need to do is come to your stairs. Oh, see, we have not saved. Always learn to save. Your system might crash while you're working. So we are moving, our stairs is moving from level 1 to level 2. So just drag. Now you might have, I usually have issues with where to drag towards, maybe up or down or whatever. So when I go to my 3D, if it's not facing the right place, I go back to my plan and I rotate it. So 180, then we're good to go. So I don't think this is necessary. You delete them, you don't need it. So you can also change this your stairs to precasts. I think precast is more of the way. So that's it. That's all you need for this basic tutorial. So I think this is simple enough. So yeah, see you in our next tutorial.